What if a woman, crushed by a world's betrayal, turned its highways into a slaughterhouse? Her .22 pistol catches neon's flicker. Her eyes blaze with defiance. Each stranger a threat, or a mark. Welcome, true crime fanatics, to a tale that'll sear your soul and twist your mind like a rusted blade in the dark. Daytona Beach, Florida, 1989. A humid sprawl of 60,000. Its neon motels, dive bars, and endless asphalt hiding a killer. Aileen Wuornos, 33. A sex worker whose pain fuels a rampage that drenches Florida in blood. 7 men dead, their bodies rotting in ditches. Her name a curse in tabloid ink that sells fear to millions. Was she a monster born to kill, or a victim forged by a society that crushed her? This is Crime Mysteries, shocking criminal stories, diving into Wuornos' saga, from her tormented youth to her death row snarl. A story that questions justice's core. Subscribe, smash that like, hit the bell, and tread this blood-soaked road. Truth is a ghost, bleeding under Florida's merciless sun, its shadow slipping through your fingers like ash. Daytona Beach, 1989, pulses with life and rot. A coastal magnet drawing 200,000 tourists yearly to its sun-scorched boardwalks, where spring breakers chug cores, bikers roar Harleys down A1A, and the air hums with salt and sin. Pink neon flickers over motels, Surfside Inn, Paradise Shores, their cracked lots littered with cigarette butts, broken bottles, dreams of escape gone sour under a sky that never weeps. I-95 and for sliced through like veins, feeding truck stops, dive bars like the last resort, and pine forests where cicadas drone and secrets fester in damp earth. Reagan's era fades, Bush Sr.'s begins, with Miami Vice glamorizing crime on 80% of U.S. TVs, Madonna's Like a Prayer blaring from jukeboxes, and a crack epidemic spiking violence. Florida's 1989 murders hit 1,200, robberies up 20%, per FBI stats. The state's $30 billion tourism economy a glittering mask over its decay. Sex workers like Wuornos haunt the highways, their lives cheap. Clients wield fists or knives. Cops shrug. Society sneers whore, leaving them prey in a state where 90% of sex worker assaults go unprosecuted, per 1990 DOJ reports. Daytona's underbelly thrives. Bar brawls spill onto sand. Pawn shops fence stolen watches under flickering bulbs. Motel clerks pocket cash for hour-long rentals. No names, no questions. Their eyes blind to the blood outside. Trust is a myth. Betrayal a heartbeat. Blood staining the asphalt as easily as it stains the Miami Herald's front page. Its 400,000 readers devouring tales of crime and scandal like vultures circling a fresh kill. In this crucible, Wuornos walks, her .22 a cold ally against a world that's beaten her since birth. Her heart a furnace of rage, pain, and a desperate will to endure. Picture a fictional lens. Sarah Kane, 42, a Daytona Beach News Journal reporter, chasing Wuornos' trail in 1990, her hands trembling as she grips her notepad, her sobriety a fragile thread stretched taut. Sarah carries a wound, her sister, Ellie, 29, strangled in 1985 by a John in a Daytona motel, her body dumped in a rusted dumpster behind the Surfside, her killer free, her memory a knife in Sarah's gut, her screams haunting Sarah's dreams. Sarah's crime beat takes her to the last resort, a biker bar on Main Street, its air thick with smoke, Merle Haggard's twang, the clink of beer bottles on scarred wood, the neon sign buzzing like a dying wasp. She spots Wuornos, blonde hair tangled, laughing with girlfriend Tyria Moore, 24, over warm Budweisers, their hands clasped, eyes scanning for trouble like hunted wolves. Sarah's notepad fills with whispers, missing men, a woman with a .22, bodies in Volusia County woods, their blood-soaking pine needles, their stories erased by a world that didn't care. November 30th, 1989. Richard Mallory, 51, an electronic shop owner with a 1980 rape conviction and $10,000 in drug debts to Daytona's underworld, is found off I-95 for .22 slugs in his chest, his Cadillac ditched in Ormond Beach, keys glinting in the dirt, a pawn ticket for his watch tucked in the glove box. Wuornos' thumbprint a silent scream. Sarah's editor, Frank Russo, 55, a chain-smoking cynic with ink-stained fingers and a gut honed by 30 years in news, growls, she's poison cane. Drop it before you drown in her filth. But Sarah, haunted by Ellie's ghost, her sister's final cry echoing in her nightmares, digs deeper, her typewriter clacking past midnight, her guilt for not saving Ellie fueling her obsession. Was Wuornos killing to survive a world that devoured women like her and Ellie? Or was murder her vengeance against a society that cast her out? Our Real Cases, 7 Murders from 1989 to 1990. Ask, how does pain birth a killer? When society fails, who pays in blood? And why does the truth feel like a lie? Wuornos' saga spans a year of carnage. Her victims middle-aged men lured from bars or truck stops, shot, robbed, left to rot under Florida's pines, their lives snuffed out in moments of betrayal. We'll trace her from a childhood of torment to these neon-lit highways, through her killings, her 1991 arrest, and the 1992 trial that branded her a man-hating monster in a nation hungry for villains to burn. Was she evil, or a product of a system that crushed her soul? From Daytona's dive bars to the electric chair, her story challenges us. Is justice blind, or does it see only what it fears? A woman who fought back, or a killer who lost her humanity? Step into the shadows, where every mile hides a body, every truth a lie, and the line between victim and monster blurs like heat rising off asphalt. Join the adventure. Subscribe now and unlock a world of exciting histories. Aileen Wuornos, born February 29, 1956, in Rochester, Michigan, enters a world rigged to shatter her dreams and grind her into dust. Rochester, a gritty town of 7,000, thrives on auto plants fueling Detroit's Big Three: Ford, GM, Chrysler, and Eisenhower's booming 1950s, where chrome-finned Chevys gleam and diners sling meatloaf under buzzing fluorescents, Elvis crooning from jukeboxes. Yet shadows fester. Divorce rates climb 10%. Domestic abuse hides behind picket fences. Mental health a taboo whispered in church basements over stale coffee and donuts. Rochester's moral facade as brittle as its winter ice. Eileen's mother, Diane, 14 at her birth, abandons her and brother Keith, 15 months older, by 1960, fleeing to Texas with a new lover, leaving the kids with grandparents Lori and Britta Wuornos on a street of clapboard houses, their porch sagging under secrets. Lori, a factory foreman with a whiskey-soaked temper, belts Aileen for spilling milk, his leather strap leaving welts on her thin arms. His slurs, worthless brat. Cutting deeper than the leather, Britta, worn by his rage, turns a blind eye, her silence a betrayal as sharp as his fists. Court records later reveal worse. Family friends allege Lori's sexual abuse, Eileen's body a pawn in a house of horrors, her cries drowned by Rochester's hypocrisy. Neighbors seeing bruises, but whispering only to themselves, their silence a second assault. By 11, she trades sex for cigarettes or quarters behind the Texaco on Main Street, her schoolmates hissing slut, teachers branding her troubled, their reports noting defiance, but ignoring her hollow eyes, her fear buried under Rochester's 7,000 judgmental gazes. At 14, pregnant by a neighbor's assault, she's forced to surrender her baby at a Catholic charity, her dreams buried in shame, First Baptist sermons preaching purity, while the town's eyes condemn a broken girl, their scorn a chain she'll drag forever. At 15, Aileen hitchhikes to Florida, 1971, a runaway chasing warmth in a post-summer of love haze, where Nixon rails against drugs on TV, Vietnam's death toll, 58,000 by 75, haunts headlines, and Led Zeppelin IV's Stairway to Heaven drifts from diner jukeboxes across I-95. Florida's sun is bright but cruel. Daytona's motels need maids, not dreamers, and Aileen turned to sex work. Her life a carousel of arrests, beatings, $10 rooms with stained sheets, roach-infested walls, the stench of despair clinging to her skin like sweat. Court records from 1974 to 1986 list charges for assault, theft, drunk driving, disorderly conduct. Her rap sheet a map of survival spanning a decade of pain, her arrests piling up like scars. In 1986, at 30, she meets Tyria Moore, 24, at Daytona Zodiac Bar, a lesbian dive with sticky floors, Patsy Cline on repeat, a jukebox glowing red like a warning in the corner. Tyria, a maid with a soft drawl and tired eyes, becomes Eileen's lifeline. Their love fierce but fractured, fights over rent, nights in fleabag motels, Tyria leaning on Eileen's earnings from a street, her hands clean but her conscience murky. Her silence during Eileen's rages a quiet complicity that cuts like a blade. Eileen's .22 revolver, bought in 1988 for protection, after a client's knife attack left a scar on her forearm, is her shadow. Its weight a comfort against leering Johns and dark highways, its trigger a temptation she can't ignore. Psychologists later diagnose borderline personality disorder, antisocial traits, PTSD. Her rage a cocktail of abuse, abandonment, betrayal. Her mind a storm of paranoia. Her BPD amplifying every leer, every insult, every fist into a mortal threat. Her flashbacks to Laurie's belt igniting a fury that burns hotter with each betrayal. In 1989, society sees a hooker, not a human. Her pain invisible to a Florida that thrives on tourism. 40 million visitors yearly, $30 billion in revenue, yet scorns its most vulnerable. Its 1980s welfare cuts, slashing foster care by 15%, per DOJ reports, leaving girls like Aileen to fend for themselves in a world that profits from their pain. Was Aileen doomed from her first cry? Or did each scar, Rochester's neglect, Florida's indifference, a lifetime of fists, carve her into a killer whose rage would write her name in blood across America's highways? Sarah Kane, our fictional reporter, pieces this together in 1990, her boots crunching gravel outside the last resort, the bar's neon sign buzzing like a dying wasp, its red glow casting shadows on her notepad, her breath catching at the memory of Ellie's death. She interviews Joe, 48, a trucker who hired Wuornos in 88. She was sweet, then snapped, pulled a knife when I shorted her $5, eyes like a cornered dog, wild and lost, like she saw death in me and liked it. Sarah scours microfiche at the News Journal archives. Eileen's 1988 armed robbery conviction, a $10,000 fine, unpaid, pushing her deeper into the hustle. Her arrests for bar fights, stolen checks, and brandishing her .22, painting a woman unraveling, her humanity fraying with each blow, her soul slipping away. Frank, her editor, scoffs. She's trash Kane. No story, just a dead end for your career. But Sarah, haunted by her sister Ellie's murder, strangled at a Daytona motel in 85, her body dumped in a dumpster, her case cold, her killer free, sees a pattern. A girl broken by neglect, a woman fighting a world that devalued her, her rage a mirror to Ellie's final fight, Sarah's guilt for not saving her a fire in her chest that burns hotter with each clue. Wuornos' past mirrors her victims' fates, men who saw her as disposable, like her family, her town, her society did, their leers echoing Laurie's cruelty, their hands a threat she'd no longer endure. Did her pain justify blood, or was she a predator by choice? Her .22 a pen writing a story of vengeance that would echo across decades. The murders ahead reveal a woman teetering on the edge, her soul a battlefield where pain and rage wage a war she's already lost. November 30th, 1989 to November 19th, 1990. Wuornos kills 7 men along Florida's I-95 and I-4, their bodies left in Volusia, Citrus, and Marion County's pine-shaded ditches, the air thick with decay, mosquitoes droning over blood-soaked earth, the pines whispering secrets no one dares hear. Florida's late 1980s are a paradox. Disney World's fairy tales mask Miami's cocaine wars, 1,200 murders statewide in 1989, per FBI stats, and a sex trade fueled by a tourism boom drawing 40 million visitors yearly. Their dollars lining Daytona's motels, but leaving its workers prey to violence and scorn. Street gangs thriving on crack's $1 billion trade. Wuornos, 33, works truck stops and bars, her clients, lured with promises of cheap thrills, driven to secluded woods, shot with their .22, wallets taken, cars dumped in swamps or abandoned lots, their headlights fading into the night like dying stars. Her victims, all white, middle-aged, working class, their lives snuffed out in moments of betrayal. Richard Mallory, 51, electronic shop owner with a 1980 rape conviction, twice divorced, owing $10,000 to Daytona's drug runners. His shop a front for deals, November 1989. David Spears, 43, trucker, father of 2, estranged from his wife over $5,000 poker debts. His kids' photos in his wallet, May 1990. Charles Carskadden, 40, rodeo worker, engaged, saving for a ring. His fiancée's letters, found in his truck. Her words of plea for a new life, May 1990. Peter Seams, 65, missionary, widower, known for charity drives, his Bible left open to psalms in his car, his faith no shield, June 1990. Troy Burress, 50, sausage salesman, married, 3 kids, his route funding his daughter's college dreams, his smile a memory, July 1990. Charles Humphreys, 56, retired cop, grandfather, church deacon, his badge a symbol of 25 years' duty, his hymn silenced, September 1990. Walter Antonio, 62, security guard, Vietnam vet with PTSD and shrapnel scars, engaged, planning a quiet life with fiancée Linda, his nightmares of war unending, November 1990. Wuornos claims self-defense. They all tried to rape me. Every damn one. I had to fight to breathe. But evidence, ballistics, pawn records, no defensive wounds, paints a colder tale. A predator's precision honed by rage, desperation, and a twisted need for control. Mallory's murder sets the stage. November 30th, 1989. Found off I-95 near Ormond Beach. For .22 slugs in his chest, bullet trajectory straight, suggesting no struggle. Per 1991 coroner reports, the wounds clean, almost surgical, a killer's calm hand. His Cadillac, ditched 10 miles away. Keys in the dirt, yields Wuornos's prints on the wheel. A pawn ticket for his watch in the glove box. Her thumbprint clear. Per Volusia County logs. The pawn clerk recalling her cold stare, like she'd seen hell and brought it with her. Spears, found June 1st, 1990. Nude in Citrus County, 6 bullets. His semi-truck abandoned in Duval. Its logbook showing a stop at a Daytona gas station. A coffee receipt crumpled in the cab. His daughter's photo tucked inside. Her smile faded. Carskadden, 9 shots. His engagement ring pawned by Wuornos and more in Daytona. Receipt dated June 2nd. Grainy VHS surveillance showing Aileen smirk, her eyes glinting under the shop's fluorescent buzz, the clerk's hand shaking as she paid. Seems the Sunbird crashes July 4th, 1990. Witnesses IDing Aileen and Tyria fleeing. mud on their boots, a beer can with Eileen's print in the wreck. Its label faded but damning. A Polaroid of Seams's wife left on the seat, her eyes staring back. Burris, 5 bullets in Marion County, his wallet emptied. A pawned watch traced to a Daytona shop, the clerk noting Wuornos's nervous laugh, like she knew I was scared of her. Humphreys, 7 bullets, his badge stolen, pawned in Orlando. The clerk recalling Eileen's shaky hands, muttering about cops deserving it. Antonio, 4 bullets, his boots and watch pawned. Wuornos's prints on the leather, his fiancée's photo crumpled in the dirt, her handwriting. To Walt forever. A silent scream. Wuornos's story shift, rape, then robbery, then silence, her 1991 confession admitting. Some were just for money. Tyria needed me. I had to keep her safe. Forensics find no rape evidence, no victim wounds suggesting resistance, though Mallory's rape conviction fuels her defense. His ex-wife testify. He had a dark side. Hurt women. Left scars. Ballistics tie all murders to her .22. Per 1991 FBI analysis, casings matching across counties. Their metallurgy, and where patterns consistent with ammo lot numbers from Daytona's pawn shops. The gun's barrel scarred from heavy use. Was she fighting for her life? Or hunting for cash, control, a twisted power over men who saw her as nothing? Their deaths a rebellion against a world that despised her? Sarah Kane tracks the spree in 1990, her news journal clippings piling up. Highway killer stalks I-95. Reads 1, circulation 80,000. Its ink fresh with fear that grips Daytona's 60,000 souls, the town's pulse quickening with each body found. She interviews Detective Bob Kelly, 50, Volusia County, who links .22 casings across 3 counties. His desk buried in pawn receipts, crime scene photos, maps dotted with red pins like wounds, his eyes tired but sharp, his coffee cold. Sarah visits Humphreys' site, pine needles, bloodstains, a buzzard circling, her stomach churning. Ellie's memory sharp, her sister's motel murder replaying like a broken film, her own failure to save her a weight that chokes her breath. She's no victim, Kelly says, showing a pawned ring traced to Antonio. It's engraving. To Walt forever. A gut punch that leaves Sarah gasping, her hands shaking as she writes. But Sarah questions Moore's role. Tyria spent victims' cash, drove their cars, yet faced no charges. Her immunity a deal sealed in a smoky precinct. Her silence a shield that reeks of guilt. At the last resort, bartender Tina, 35, whispers. Tyria egged her on, kept the money, laughed about it, called Aileen her ticket out. Like it was a game. Sarah's notebook catches Tina's fear. Aileen killed me for talking. Her eyes were death, pure death, like she'd already buried me. Did Wuornos kill alone, or was Moore her shadow, her enabler, her accomplice in all but name? Her laughter a spark to Eileen's rage? The spree ends, but the truth, self-defense or predation, lies buried in Florida's blood-soaked earth, a puzzle with jagged pieces, its edges sharp enough to cut, its center a void where justice should stand. January 9th, 1991. Wuornos is arrested at the last resort. Her mugshot, wild blonde hair, hollow eyes, splashed across America, a face that haunts and horrifies, a symbol of evil or anguish, depending on the lens that frames her. Florida, 1991, hums with tension. The Gulf War dominates CNN, Terminator 2 packs theaters, and Wuornos' case ignites a media inferno that burns hotter than Daytona's asphalt, its flames fed by a nation's fear and fascination. The Miami Herald, read by 400,000, dubs her America's first female serial killer. Ignoring Belle Gunness or Nanny Doss, its tabloid tone mirroring National Enquirer's rise, whose 3 million readers devour Killer Hooker, headlines like candy. their covers selling fear by the millions. Their ink is venomous as the public's hate. Volusia County's Larry Horzipa, 45. A detective with 20 years, grit, and a coffee-stained tie, orchestrates her downfall, using Tyria Moore as bait in a trap as cold as the Asphalt Wuornos walked. Moore, granted immunity, calls Aileen from a Daytona motel, wired by cops, her voice trembling. "Confess, or they'll pin it on me. Leave, please. I can't go down for this. I love you." Wuornos, fiercely loyal, confesses January 16, 1991, to 6 murders, denying Seams's, whose body remains missing. Her voice raw. "They were gonna rape me, I swear, every one. I had to fight to breathe, to live." Evidence buries her, pawned goods with her prints, .22 casings matching her gun, witnesses placing her with victims' cars, per 1991 court files, chain of custody unbroken, grainy VHS tapes from pawn shops showing her smirk, her hand steady, her eyes dead, a clerk testifying. "She looked right through me, like I was already gone, like I was nothing." Her January 1992 trial in DeLand, Florida, is a circus. 200 reporters, TV crews from NBC to BBC, crowds waving Fry Aileen. Signs outside the Volusia County Courthouse, their chants echoing down Indiana Avenue, their rage fueled by Herald leaks and Inquirer covers. 3 million copies sold weekly, their headlines screaming monster. Prosecutor John Tanner, 38, a Bible-quoting hardliner with a preacher's cadence, paints her as a predatory animal, citing execution-style shots, stolen wallets, no rape evidence, his voice booming. She hunted men like deer, no mercy, no soul, a blight on God's earth, a demon in human skin. Defense attorney Billy Nolis, 40, a public defender with tired eyes and a stack of psych reports, argues trauma-driven self-defense, calling Dr. Elizabeth McMahon, a psychologist, who details Aileen's borderline personality disorder, PTSD, and childhood abuse. 70% of sex workers report client violence, per 1990 DOJ studies. Her trauma, ticking bomb, triggered by Lear's fists, betrayal. Her BPD turning every threat into a death sentence in her fractured mind. Moore testifies, tearful, claiming she thought Aileen's money was from tricks. Though she pawned Antonio's watch, receipts dated December 1990, her hands shaking but her story polished, her immunity a shield Nolis can't pierce, her tears too perfect, like a script rehearsed in a precinct basement. Herald leaks, sourced from police insiders, call Wuornos a man-hater, swaying jurors before deliberations, their faces grim as Tanner plays her confession tape, her voice flat. "I shot him. Took their stuff. They deserved it. World's better off without him." Convicted January 27, 1992. For Mallory's murder, she's sentenced to death. 5 more death sentences following by 1993. Her appeals citing media bias, Moore's immunity, and Tanner's rhetoric failing against a tide of public hate. 60% of Floridians supporting her execution, per 1992 polls. Wuornos' courtroom rants. "I'm innocent, you bastards. You're the monsters." Clash with her confessions, her sanity fraying, per 1992 psychiatric reports noting delusional bursts, possible schizophrenia. Her mind a storm of rage, despair, and defiance, her screams echoing in a courtroom that's already judged her. Was this justice, or a rush to kill a woman society despised? Her gender a scarlet letter in a court that saw her as less than human, her pain a footnote in a nation's rush to burn her alive. Sarah Kane covers the trial, her News Journal articles noting bias. Tanner's animal rhetoric, Herald's leaked police reports, Moore's unchallenged immunity, her testimony too clean, too rehearsed, her tears too perfect, like a performance for the jury's pity. She interviews juror Mary Wells, 60, a retired teacher, who admits, The TV made her guilty. Those headlines burned her alive. We never had a chance to think. Sarah's story on Moore's role, Tyria's spending, her motel calls, her laughter over pawned rings, is spiked by Frank, fearing lawsuits from Volusia County Sheriff, his voice sharp. "You'll sink us, Kane. Drop it or you're done." Wuornos, on death row, writes Sarah, pencil scrawled on yellow paper. "I killed to live, like your sister fought, Kane. They'll burn me for it, but I ain't sorry. World's rotten to the core." Sarah, shaken, questions. Was Wuornos a scapegoat for society's guilt? A woman punished for fighting back? Or a killer beyond redemption? Her soul lost to a rage that consumed her? The electric chair looms, its shadow hiding the truth. Its hum a verdict on a world that failed her, a system that profited from her pain. Her story a commodity for tabloids and TV screens across a nation that watched but never listened. October 9th, 2002, Florida State Prison. Wuornos, 46, faces lethal injection, her final words defiant. "I'll be back, like Independence Day, with Jesus, sailing on love." Florida, 2002, buzzes with Bush Jr.'s War on Terror. Eminem's Lose Yourself topping charts. But Wuornos' execution reignites a firestorm that scorches the nation's conscience, its embers burning in true crime forums, Reddit threads with 10,000 upvotes, and late-night debates that refuse to die. Was she a monster, or a martyr of a system that failed her from birth? Her life, abuse, abandonment, sex work, mirrors countless women's, yet she killed 7. Their blood a stain no narrative can erase, their lives as real as hers, their family's grief a wound that festers. Psychologists like Dr. Robert Hare cite antisocial personality disorder, her lack of remorse a hallmark, noting 1% of women meet such criteria. Per 1994 studies, her flat confessions, "I shot him, no tears," a chilling proof. Trauma experts, like Dr. Lenore Walker, argue battered woman syndrome. Her murders a warped self-defense against a lifetime of violence. 80% of female inmates report abuse. Per 2000 Bureau of Justice, her PTSD triggered by every leer, every fist, every echo of Lori's belt. Her BPD turning every slight into a mortal threat. Her flashbacks a prison of their own. FBI data shows 15% of U.S. serial killers are women, but Wuornos' case, male victims, no torture, robbery secondary, defies the mold. Her kills efficient, almost mechanical. Her rage a scalpel, not a bludgeon. Her victims chosen for opportunity, not sadism. Her gender amplified her infamy. Per 2002 New York Times op-eds, a man-hater scared America more than Bundy's charm. His 1970s media coverage softer, romanticized. His handsome face a contrast to her wild-eyed mugshot. Her femininity a betrayal to a society that demanded women be soft, not savage. Her rage a mirror it refused to face. Her legacy fractures. Feminists like Andrea Dworkin, in 1993 writings, call her a survivor pushed to extremes. Her rage a rebellion against a patriarchy that commodified her body. Her killings a scream against a world that silenced her. Her story a rallying cry for some, with 5,000 attendees at 1,993 feminist rallies, citing her name. Victims' families, like Diane Mallory, 70, in 2002, demand silence. "She slaughtered my brother, left his kids fatherless, his shop shuttered, his dreams dead. She's no hero, she's a nightmare." Monster, 2003. Earning Charlize Theron an Oscar, humanizes Wuornos, showing her love for more, her pain, her laughter in stolen moments. But critics like Variety argue it glosses over victims' grief. Humphreys' widow, Joan, 58, in 1992, sobbing, "He was my hero, my deacon, my heart, and she tore him away. No movie can fix that. No story can heal us." Society failed her. Rochester's child welfare ignored her abuse, per 1960s caseworker logs noting, uncooperative family. Florida's 1980s police dismissed sex worker assaults, per 1990 DOJ reports showing 90% of such cases unprosecuted. Their files gathering dust in precinct basements. 1980s foster care cuts, slashing support by 15%, per DOJ, leaving girls like Aileen to the wolves. Yet her victims, fathers, brothers, sons, paid with their lives, their families scarred. Antonio's fiancée, Linda, 55, in 1991, clutching his photo. He was my Vietnam hero, my future, and she left me nothing but ashes. Her name a curse I'll carry forever. Wuornos's prison letters, published in 2001, reveal her duality. I killed to survive, but I ain't sorry for some. They deserved it. World's rotten to the core, she wrote. Her words a mix of defiance and despair, her mind unraveling as death row's walls closed in. Her letters read by 50,000 true crime fans by 2003. Her pain a spectacle. Sarah Kane, our fictional reporter, reflects in 2002. Her unpublished book, Highway Shadows, rejected by publishers. Aileen was both victim and villain, a mirror to our failures, a warning of what pain can birth when ignored. Her rage a fire we all help kindle. Her story a scar we can't erase, a truth we're too afraid to face. Statistics burn. 1 in 4 U.S. women face abuse, per 2002 CDC. 10% of death row cases involve flawed trials, per 2002 Innocence Project. Wuornos's case unreviewed. Her bias claims dismissed. Her execution a TV spectacle. Her mugshot a Halloween mask by 2003. Her pain a commodity for networks, tabloids, and a true crime fandom that thrives on her blood. Her story a cash cow for a world that failed her. Wuornos's Daytona highways, neon-lit and bloodstained, echo lives discarded daily, women abused, ignored, erased, their pain a footnote in a world that moves on without a glance. Her story asks, where's justice when pain breeds pain? Could you break, pushed past endurance, your humanity fraying like hers? Your rage a spark in a world too busy to care. Her shadow lingers in every motel sign, every tabloid, every woman society scorns. Her rage a warning of what neglect can forge. Her life a scar on a system that failed to listen, a society that judged before it saw. She wasn't just a killer, she was a mirror, a scream, a question we still haven't answered. Her blood-soaked highways demanding answers we're too afraid to seek. Don't let her story fade. Question the system, the headlines, the truths we're fed. Was she a monster, or a martyr we created? The truth is still out there, bleeding in the shadows, waiting for someone to listen. Smash that like. Subscribe for more cases that unravel your soul, and drop your theories. Was Wuornos a victim forged by a cruel world, or a killer born to hunt? Did society fail her, or was justice served? Did more escape too easily, or was Aileen the sole architect of her crimes? Was her trial fair, or a media-driven execution that burned her alive? Share with a true crime fan. Hit the bell. Truth hides in the shadows, bleeding on Florida's asphalt. Lock your doors. Question everything. Evil wears many faces. Aileen's just one.